Happy Wednesday, friends. Did you miss me yesterday? Yesterday was an intentional day away from the lives. We're figuring out if we want to continue a daily live or if we're going to make this maybe a 3, 4, 5 day a week thing or what we're going to do exactly, because as much as I love the live, it also, I'm trying to figure out some cadence and rhythm around this too, because we've got so much going on and I'm trying to, we're trying to get a lot done right now, which is really freaking exciting. So everybody, welcome. If you are here I go. I did this twice. I did this the other day too, which is hilarious. I mean, well, to me, it's hilarious. I don't know. Maybe you don't find it as hilarious. I did this last week where I just was talking for like 2 or 3 minutes. And then I realized suddenly that I didn't have the microphone in front of me. This time it was only 40 or 50 seconds, it looks like. So we're improving. We're getting better, right? We're getting better. So friends, welcome. If you are a new friend to our live, welcome. We are super glad to have you here. I think you're going to find what we are sharing as some of the most valuable information that can possibly help your business grow. And I'm not saying this from a place of trying to sound boastful or cocky. We put in a lot of time and a lot of reps, and we've made tens of thousands of mistakes over a whole lot of years. And now we are doing the best work we've ever done. And we're getting the best clients and the best client results that we've ever had by far. And the results are showing up in our own financials and profits and what's going on in our world. So I am confidently saying that we're doing things that change people and that matter and change businesses. And I'm thrilled. I'm elated by where we're now have arrived. And it's amazing. It's just amazing. So if you are new, welcome. I hope you will get extreme value out of this. If you are a returning friend, it is great to see you again. Thank you for showing back up, tuning back in. We're going to make sure that this is worth your while. And our goal continues to be, if we help one more person every single day, boy, are we off to a great start. So friends, if you, during the course of this, have any comments, obviously feel free to leave them below. We love comments. We love questions. We love engagement. And of course, if you find this is worth sharing, please do share it with folks that we can help, because we operate from a very basic thesis that I believe most businesses to this day, and when I say most businesses, I mean high 90%. I mean 95, 96, 97% of all businesses just flat overlook it, step over it, don't know about it, move past it. And they never understand why they struggle. They never understand why their marketing isn't landing. They don't understand why their sales appointments are so light. They don't understand why their sales and profits are so low. And this thesis from which I have operated for a lot of years, and this is going back over 2 decades, is that the degree to which we can cause a meaningful separation and division from what everyone else in our market is doing, the more success we will have. Meaning, we need to be a separator. We need to understand how to differentiate, how to truly stand apart. Now, when I was younger, I believed this, but I didn't know how to do it, right? This to me meant saying things a little different, or acting a little different, or showing up a little different, or maybe presenting a little different, wearing different shirts, whatever that would be. Gosh, 20 years ago, when people were buying business cards for, you could get whatever, 1,000 business cards for whatever it was, $50, people were paying a penny a business card or whatever it is. I don't know what it was. I got all metal business cards. I think I got 100 of them for like $400. And everybody's like, dude, you can get business cards for a penny and you're spending like $4 per business card. You're insane, stupid, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I got a whole hell of a lot of business cards, or a whole lot of business from those cards. Because people saw them and they're like, dude, this is just effing amazing. I'm like, thank you. Number one, I appreciate that. And then number two was that I had people look at me in the face and I'd hand them this business card and they're like, dude, I will never throw this thing away.
Not bad for the people who usually they would get a business card. They go to some networking events, right? They're collecting whatever, 10, 15, 20 business cards. And they would either chuck them directly into the circular file, trash can. They would chuck them into their file box, their lead drawer, some shoebox, something or whatever. And that would be the end of that. Like, or if they were really good, and I'm talking about the person who was collecting the cards, if they were really on point, which again, we're talking like very small single digit here, they would actually get back, take a picture of it immediately or immediately put it into their contacts, and then boom. The vast majority of people but that was the end of the business card, right? People literally, I would see people years later, and I would go into their office and they'd sit down. They're like, oh dude, wait. They'd open up their office, their desk drawer, spin around, pull up the metal business card I'd give them like 3, 4, 5 years earlier. Like, I told you I would never throw this thing away, man. This thing is coolest business card I've ever gotten in my life. I'm like, okay, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. But I was trying to figure out ways to stand apart, to be different. And I couldn't figure out how to do it. I mean, meaningful ways how to do it. And now we, of course, over the past, decade or so have really learned how to do this. And what this means for a lot of businesses is that businesses are suffering, and they're suffering because people don't know about them. They're suffering because the reason people don't know about them isn't because maybe they're not out in front of them. Maybe it's not because of their marketing at all. Maybe it's not because of the ads they're running. Maybe they're out there in the marketplace. But the reason that this suffering is occurring is because they are viewed as a commodity. And the terrible part about being viewed as a commodity is it's kind of like that thing that when you don't do a good job with a client or a customer, that most of the time, whatever the research is now showing that like 91, 93% of the customers, they don't say anything. They just leave, and then they make sure, and then they tell 20 or 30 other people about it. That's the reality. It's that way with when we set up our business. Most business owners, and I call it the unsuspecting commodity, they don't know that how they're marketing, what they're marketing, what they're trying to sell, what they're trying to magnify and amplify is being viewed by the marketplace as a commodity. And that is why they're struggling. That is why their appointment calendar is empty. That is why sales are low. That is why profits are very skinny, is because the marketplace sees what they're doing as like another 10, 15, or 20 other people. When these other 10, 15, 20 other people are doing it too, now we have a problem, because you're a commodity. And here's the problem with commodities. There's many, but here's the big one, I think. The big one is that when people are looking for a solution to their problem, no one is Googling what's the second best weight loss program? What's the third best way for me to advertise my business? That is not what people are Googling. People are trying to find the best solution. And when I say this, no, I don't mean like if they don't find you at the top of Google, then you're schnookered. I don't mean that at all. What I mean is that they are looking, your prospects are looking to get rid of a pain, to fill in a gap, to end suffering, to end anxiety, to end stress, to end a sleepless night, to end a skinny bank account, to end their drought of not having fun or going out on dates or going out and taking vacations or driving the old crappy car. They're looking for these solutions, and they're looking for someone who is doing something different, something that is new and different. It's critical. It is critical to be able to be a new and different solution. Because if you are setting up an offer in a way and then describing your offering in a way that sounds commoditized, the marketplace never tells you. I mean, I've been on thousands. I've been in thousands of sales conversations, thousands easily, probably like I could probably count up something quite a bit more accurate that's saying 13,000, 15,000, 17,000. I mean, I'm in hundreds and hundreds of these conversations in a year, right? So, I mean, it's easy, and I'm easy. I've been in over 100 in a month, easily. Yeah, easily over 100 a month, maybe 150, 180 in a month. And so, like I say, you get up to 15, 1,800 in just 1 year, and multiply that times decades, and there you go. I've never once have I been in a sales conversation where the prospect said to me in any way, shape, or form, Dallas, this seems like a commoditized offering you're giving me. Therefore, I'm just not interested. They've never said it. I mean, literally, let's use the number 15,000. See if I've been in 15,000 sales conversations. I have had 0 instances, 0, where they said, Dallas, your solution sounds too much like a commodity. No, thank you. 0. Over the years, do you know how many people probably thought that? Probably a lot, unfortunately. Probably a lot. You know, when I was struggling to figure out my offering, struggling to figure out how to say it, struggling to figure out what is my true value, really figuring out what does this stack look like? What are these deliverables? What are these premiums and bonuses? What are the different ways that I can talk about the features and the benefits, and the way I can talk about the different ways that these benefits will help them? You know, how do I position all of this properly? How do I put all this together? Took me a long time. You know, I wish I could tell you this was a short, easy road. That's where we are now. It makes it all the sweeter, of course, but man, it was you know, it was a road, right? Long, windy, dark, stormy road, often with sharp corners that sometimes you just drove off and off the cliff sometimes. So I'm saying this in that I believe, this is my thesis, right? My thesis is that we must do all of the work that is required to make sure that we are not seen as a commodity to the marketplace. Because if we are seen as a commodity, there is almost nothing we can say or do to help our cause. Almost no amount of marketing can save us. Almost no amount of dollars or ad spend is going to save us. No amount of copy chops or being a sales ninja is going to come and save you. It just doesn't happen that way. People all the time, unfortunately, in business are trying to fix the symptom rather than the root cause. So they spend all of this time on symptoms. I get messages, unfortunately, all the time, and the marketplace, of course, the marketplace perpetuates this. But there, you know, people reaching out to me, and you know, these are bright, intelligent people, I'm sure, and they're like, "Hey, do you do leads?" You know, it's like, well, why are you asking that question? I need leads, need people to talk to. Well, what they're telling me almost immediately is either number one, they're pretty new to the game, so that's just the question they think they're supposed to be asking. I know when I was newer to the game, that was the question I was asking. It's like, what do you need? Leads. Oh, okay. We can sell you leads. Cool. And then you buy the leads, and like, oh, those are crappy leads. Well, you come to find out after you do it maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times, whatever that number is for you. Okay, it's not really a leads thing, right? So I need someone to help me write this thing, or create these pages, or to do this ad spend, or to help out with this marketing modality, or to help craft this thing, or write this, you know, stuff, or this page design, or this headline, this copy. And unfortunately, all they're doing is just trying to address a symptom, a symptom, a symptom. And unfortunately, most of the symptoms, the symptomatic approach they're taking winds up being very tactical. So we tactically try to address a symptom and wonder why it doesn't work. We tactically try to address a symptom and wonder why we got a little bump maybe for a month or two or three, but then we go right back down to a low number after that. So then we're like trying to get our new fix, right? We're like all of a sudden we're like the crack addict. Like I need to find the next hit. What's the next hit? What's the next algorithm thing I can do? What's the next lead trickery thing I can do? What's the new Google hack something I can do? What's this new thing that this person's talking about that they just newly discovered and it got them over 200 qualified people, interested people in 30 days? Let me figure that thing out and learn that. This new direct message hack or messaging system or qualifier or something. And unfortunately, the market is seeing you as a commodity. The market is responding to you in kind. The market will never tell you. They just don't. Like the reason I don't engage, the reason I don't reply to a message, the reason I don't email you, the reason I don't schedule time with you, the reason I'm not a true prospect, the reason I don't buy, the reason your calendar isn't full, your sales calendar is, you're a commodity to me. To me, you're a commodity. And I'm looking around and I'm finding 6, 8, 10, 20 other businesses, other people who do the same thing. And you just don't stand apart. So from our thesis, you will have more money, more fulfillment, more happiness, more impact, more profits as you find the way to clearly differentiate yourself. And no, this isn't just from wearing some article of clothing or for some catchphrase or thing you say, or some way that you do, present this thing or whatever. It is from the way you show up, the ideas that you have that can then be executed to demonstrate the proof within your offering that clearly demonstrates that you are doing it in a new and different way. And if you don't know how to do that, that is the place to begin. That is the most important place any business will ever be. And when I say begin, I'm saying this, that if you have a business that's 5 or 10 or 20 years old, and if it's not where you want it to be, then all of this other stuff, all of the marketing that you're trying to tweak, that you're trying to change, all of the different formulations and the stacking and the headlines and the copies and the designs and figuring out why this ad metric conversion and that thing and why this funnel and that design and these analytics aren't where we want them to be and why our calendars or whatever. All of these things are symptoms of the real problem, the root cause. The root cause, my friend, is because you do not have clearly articulated in a way that the marketplace can consume your unique, different, superior way of doing business, of helping them, of alleviating the pain, the struggle, and what it is that you're going to be doing for them to close this gap they have. So friends, this is Dallas Hardcastle with Make Today Mammoth, continuing with our separator series. And as always, feel free to comment, leave a question. If you don't want to do that in a public facing forum, obviously, you can send me an email to dallas@maketodaymammoth.com, dallas@maketodaymammoth.com. Or you can send me a DM in Facebook or send me a DM on LinkedIn. Those are the two where I am the most active. So friends, I wish you great successes. If there's anything we can do to help you out, any questions that we can help answer, we are happy to do so. But until that time, my friends, as always, just make today mammoth. I appreciate you. I love you. I hope you have a tremendous day and let us know if we can help you out. Take care. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Bye-bye.